Welcome, everyone. I hope you've had a blessed week and are ready to embrace this new day with joy and purpose. Isn't it amazing that every sunrise brings a fresh opportunity to start over, to take a step forward, and to claim the victory God has already prepared for us? Life's journey is full of challenges, but when we walk with God, even the impossible becomes possible. Imagine this. You're standing on the edge of a new year, a blank canvas waiting to be painted. What picture will you create with God's guidance? Today we'll explore what it means to walk in victory when we walk with God, especially as we set our goals for the year ahead. Whether you're aiming to deepen your faith, strengthen your family, or pursue your dreams, remember that God's victory is not just a distant hope, it's a present reality you can walk in today. Let's dive in. Victory doesn't mean life will be free of battles. On the contrary, challenges often accompany our greatest breakthroughs. Think about Paul, who tirelessly spread the gospel despite facing imprisonment, shipwrecks, and persecution. Paul was once bound in chains, yet he wrote letters of encouragement and hope to the early churches, trusting in God's purpose for his life. Imagine the strength it took to sing praises to God while imprisoned, as he did in Philippi, Acts chapter 16. His unwavering faith and obedience brought about miraculous breakthroughs, like the earthquake that opened prison doors and led to the salvation of a jailer and his family. The lesson, walking with God, means trusting Him, even in the darkest and most uncertain moments. As you set your goals for the new year, there may be walls in your life that feel immovable. Financial struggles, health concerns, broken relationships, or self-doubt. But let me encourage you, the God who helped Paul endure immense challenges and spread the gospel despite imprisonment, shipwrecks, and persecution can bring down the barriers in your life too. Imagine Paul in a Roman prison, writing letters of encouragement to the early churches. He chose to trust God's purpose even when his freedom was taken. His story teaches us that aligning our steps with God's will and trusting His timing can turn obstacles into opportunities for His glory. Victory starts in the mind. The Bible says in Romans chapter 12, verse 2, "Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind." When we focus on God's promises rather than our problems, we gain a heavenly perspective. Imagine being a student overwhelmed by exams, projects, and peer pressure. It's easy to feel defeated, isn't it? But when you remember that God's strength is made perfect in your weakness, as it says in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9, you can approach those challenges with confidence. In the same way, if you're in the workplace and facing a difficult boss or overwhelming deadlines, remind yourself that you are not alone. Many workers find themselves in fast-paced environments dealing with long hours, high performance expectations, or even the fear of layoffs. It can feel overwhelming to balance responsibilities while striving to meet goals. Walking with God means inviting Him into every situation, including these workplace struggles. He will give you the wisdom to navigate office politics, the patience to handle challenging colleagues or tasks, and the courage to persevere through demanding projects. When you rely on His guidance, you can find peace even in the most stressful conditions, knowing that His presence empowers you to face each challenge with grace and strength. Let's take inspiration from Caleb, one of the two spies who believed they could conquer the Promised Land. Even at the age of 85, Caleb declared, "Give me this mountain." Joshua chapter 14, verse 12. His unwavering faith reminds us that age, obstacles, or the opinions of others cannot hinder God's plans for our lives. Caleb's victory was not about his strength, but about his trust in God's promises. Similarly, consider the life of Harriet Beecher Stowe, the Christian author of Uncle Tom's Cabin. She faced immense criticism and personal loss, yet she trusted God's purpose for her work. Her faith and perseverance helped spark movements for justice and freedom. Just as Caleb claimed his mountain, Stowe claimed her purpose, showing us that walking with God leads to victories that impact generations. Sometimes victory requires action. Faith is not passive, it's alive and dynamic. James chapter 2, verse 26 says, "Faith without deeds is dead." If you're praying for a new job, are you also preparing your resume and applying? If you're asking God to restore a relationship, are you taking steps to communicate and reconcile? Walking with God means stepping out in faith, even when the path is unclear. Imagine you're building a house. You have the blueprint, materials, and tools, but the house won't build itself. You must act. Likewise, God has given you everything you need for victory, but you must take the first step. What step of faith can you take today to move closer to your goals? Victory is not just about overcoming challenges, it's about walking in righteousness and staying faithful to God. Imagine living each day with integrity, obeying His word, and seeking His guidance in every decision. When we choose to align our lives with God's will, we invite His blessings and protection. Proverbs chapter 21, verse 21 reminds us, "Whoever pursues righteousness and love finds life, prosperity, and honor." Walking in obedience to God's commands positions us to experience His peace and provision. The Bible teaches us that God hears the prayers of those who approach Him with sincere hearts and right motives. James chapter 4, verse 3 says, "When you ask, you do not receive, because you ask with wrong motives." When we seek God with humility and a genuine desire to honor Him, our prayers become powerful and effective. Picture this: a nation seeking God together, individuals turning their hearts toward Him, and communities walking in obedience. Imagine the transformation that could take place, not just in our personal lives, but in the world around us. As we journey through life, let us be intentional about seeking God in everything we do. Whether you're navigating a new job, building relationships, or making decisions about the future, remember to seek His wisdom first. Matthew chapter 6, verse 33 encourages us, "But seek first His kingdom and His righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." Walking in obedience doesn't mean life will be free of challenges, but it assures us that we'll never walk alone. God honors those who honor Him, and His promises are steadfast. Let's make a commitment to walk in faithfulness and righteousness. Let us seek God not only as individuals, but as a collective, a life nation devoted to His will. When we walk in obedience, God will guide our steps, provide for our needs, and bring victories beyond what we could ever imagine. Walking in victory is not a solo journey. God created us to live in community, to build one another up, and to hold each other accountable. Proverbs chapter 27, verse 17 says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." When you surround yourself with people who share your faith and vision, you gain strength, encouragement, and wisdom for the journey ahead. Think about Paul's relationships with Timothy, Silas, and other early believers. They supported each other in spreading the gospel, prayed for one another, and provided encouragement during trials. Their unity and shared mission amplified their impact, allowing them to overcome immense challenges and establish the early church. In the same way, who are the iron sharpeners in your life? Seek out mentors, friends, or church groups who will uplift you and challenge you to stay on the path of victory. In the workplace, for instance, you might find colleagues who share your values and can encourage you when the pressure mounts. Perhaps you can create a small prayer group or join a Bible study to remind one another of God's promises. Walking with others who share your faith allows you to draw from their strength when you feel weak and celebrate together when victories are achieved. This year, make it a priority to invest in relationships that align with God's purposes for your life. Victory is sweeter when it's shared, and accountability ensures you stay focused on the goals God has placed on your heart. Walking with God is not just about asking for blessings, it's also about recognizing the ones we already have. Gratitude shifts our focus from what we lack to what we've been given. Philippians chapter 4, verse 6 says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." When we thank God in advance for victory, we demonstrate our trust in His provision. Take a moment to reflect on the past year. What victories, big or small, has God brought into your life? Maybe it was healing from an illness, reconciliation in a relationship, or simply the strength to keep going. Gratitude not only honors God, but also strengthens our faith for future battles. One of the greatest aspects of walking with God is the peace that comes with His presence. Psalm chapter 23, verse 4 says, "Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me." Victory is not just about overcoming external challenges, it's about finding inner peace amidst the storm. When you walk with God, you carry His peace with you, even in the most chaotic circumstances. Consider the life of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, the German theologian who stood firm in his faith during World War II. Despite being imprisoned and facing death, he remained at peace, trusting God's greater plan. His life reminds us that true victory is not the absence of trials, but the presence of God in those trials. As you step into this new year, remember that victory is already yours because God walks with you. You don't need to have everything figured out. You just need to take the next step in faith. Think about Paul, who endured imprisonment, shipwrecks, and persecution, yet never wavered in his mission to spread the gospel. Even in a Roman prison, Paul wrote letters of hope and encouragement to the early churches, choosing to trust God's purpose despite his circumstances. His faith reminds us that no challenge is too great when God is with us. The same God who gave Paul the strength to persevere and impact countless lives will equip you to achieve your goals and overcome your challenges. If this message has inspired you, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Share it with someone who needs encouragement today. We'd love to hear from you. What victory are you claiming this year, or what victory has God given you in the past? Let us know in the comments below. Your story could inspire someone else to trust in God's promises. Together, let's walk in victory. Isaiah chapter 41, verse 10 says, "So do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand." Let this promise carry you forward. Today is a new day, and God has prepared a path of victory for you. Walk boldly, walk faithfully, and walk in victory with Him. Your best days are not behind you. They are ahead of you. God bless you and have a great day.